today we're going to be using the principles that we've learned, and we're going to draw a seal instead. We're going to change things up a little bit, because you know what? We've drawn plenty of pigeons. You guys are doing amazing at pigeons, and we really need to change things up a little bit. So, remember we talked about the line of action for this, and these both are going to turn into seals, somehow, magically. And you know what? A seal seems like it should be fairly complicated, but it's basically, you draw the line of action, and then you make a teardrop shape going along that line of action. Look at that. You know? We're going to do something like that, and then we're going to get a semicircle at the bottom of it, alright? Now this guy, we got to make him a little bit chunkier. We're going to extend that. Curves like that. And we're going to do a little C curve. I like the letter C, not S-E-A. That's different. For the arms, those flippers. And then we got to figure out what angle the face is at. Alright, so I'm doing this little curve right here just to show which way the face is going to be curving. We're going to make it so this is a little easier to see in a second. Adding a nice giant 3 to that. Gonna add a little nose. Gonna add some little eyes. And we can make his mouth a little bit open. And seals sometimes have whiskers, so we're gonna add some whiskers. We're gonna shrink down that head a little bit more. Maybe we'll add a little tuft, like that. And you basically got yourself a seal, you know? At this point, I would do little waves at the tail, and then we want to do a couple spots to show where the weight is, where they're little like fat pieces working together. We're just gonna do a couple little extra lines for that. And then we just take darker one, and any of the lines that we like, we darken, and then if you want to, you can go back and erase the ones that you don't like. But now you get an example of how we can do this with animals other than pigeons. It's not just pigeons that are made up of the basic shapes. We're just looking at circles and triangles, because a teardrop shape is just a circle with a triangle at the bottom of it. Just making it follow that curve gives them a little bit of life, and it makes them a little more dynamic. The eyes are inspired by Charlie Brown. And we do the same thing, right? So we're going to do a giant circle, and then just picture a teardrop going along the line that you just made. And this little guy, he's celebrating. We don't know what he's celebrating. Maybe he's got a fish. We can give him a little fish in his mouth, because why not? So, fish, we're just going to do bam, bam. Like an eye, like a football kind of a shape, you know? We're just going to draw the mouth around that. And then we're going to do little curvy lines. And now we're going to give him the little 3 for the hairs. And since this guy is going faster, we're going to warp the tail a little bit. You don't need to just make the tail a semicircle. In this case, it just is, he's floating. He needs some bubbles too. This little guy, he's swimming. You know, so we're going to give him a couple of dashed lines to show that he's swimming. And that's basically how a seal is done. Again, this is cartooning. This is not meant to be used as live reference, so I keep getting calls from Animal Planet, and they're obsessed. Disclaimer, I might not have gotten any calls from Animal Planet, and they might not be obsessed, and I apologize. Didn't mean to lead you all astray. Check that out. We got 3 little tufts. And then remember, we're going to do those little waves in the tail. And that's just a squiggly line. You just kind of make an imprecise squiggly line, and you'll basically have it. We can add some lines in there if we want to. And then we got to finish up our little fish drawing. Little football shape. Little semicircle. Or a couple other football shapes. I was gonna do it initially, same way I did the seal tail. Now the fish is not as happy. He's struggling. Just one of those days. There we go. Check him out. That's all it is. Draw a squiggly line. Make the line of action. The line of action isn't a squiggly line, it's a composed line. What am I saying? An S curve or a C curve, and draw your shapes along that, and you can have a really cute little fat seal. Just kind of going around. It's very imprecise. It's meant to be imprecise. This is cartooning. This is meant to be fun. Thank you so much for coming back, and I will see you in the next episode with Sam Larson Studio.